It looks like EA just might be all the way in when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. Let's see what this means for games.
Gamestork, delivering news, reviews, and playthroughs like a newborn baby.
EA's departure from the Wii U fold signaled and pretended a larger exodus of third parties from the Nintendo camp, something from which the Wii U never quite recovered. It is why the prospect of EA actually being on board with the Switch was a little encouraging for the system's prospects before its launch, when its fate on the market was uncertain. Now, the failings of the Wii U have affected all the third-party developers in big ways. Think about it this way. So far, the Nintendo Switch sales have soared over 2.74 million in the first month, and we don't even have numbers since then on the second month of sales. Now, with this, we can conclude that by their projected numbers of 12 million plus, which is a very conservative number in this fiscal year on sales, if they reach that number, okay, that means that the lifetime sales of the Wii U over the course of a number of years have been met in just 1 year by this new console. And this is very exciting for Nintendo, first of all, developing this console, and it's very exciting that the rate of growth of this console, which is the fastest selling Nintendo console of all time, with the fastest selling Mario Kart of all time, and one of the best selling, if not the best selling Zeldas of all time. So far, the first party's on a roll, right? But the third parties are jumping on board. Why? Because its fate, it's not uncertain anymore. The Switch is out, and it's a raging success, and it looks like EA is now more willing to commit to the system fully. Thus far, EA had only announced one game for the system, which was FIFA 18. However, speaking to investors in a financial call, EA CEO Andrew Wilson noted that the company is now very bullish on the Nintendo Switch, expressing excitement for it bringing an entirely new ecosystem into the fold. He noted that EA is considering bringing more of its games to the system, in addition to previously announced FIFA 18. He also reiterated EA's relationship with Nintendo. Now, the games that they're bringing are somewhat unknown, and the big one that I want personally is Madden. I want a full-fledged Madden, even if you have to kill some of the graphic visuals. I want a full-fledged Madden on the go. And something that scares me about this saying is right in the center of it, where he says that expressing excitement for bringing an entirely new ecosystem into the fold. This is scary to me. Why? Because I don't want a Wii game. A lot of third-party people jumped on the Nintendo Wii and were like, yay, everybody's in. But you know what happened? A lot of junk happened. And no offense to any of those games, a lot of them were fun. But when people like me wanted Madden, you know, we did get one Madden on it, but it wasn't good, okay? And when we want sports games, we want games like 2K18 that's releasing the full game right upside the other systems. You know, that's what we want. We don't want a bunch of junk shovelware that's coming from big third-party titles. So they need to realize that the ecosystem of the Nintendo Switch predominantly is males between the ages of 18 and 35. That's who has bought most of these consoles. Not children, not grandparents. We're not talking about people who want to just get on there and play rope-a-dope or whatever the game is that doesn't make any sense. You know, it's not really a game, by the way. But we're talking about serious, hardcore gamers, mature men. That's the biggest seller. That's the biggest buyer right now of this console. Young men. And what they want serious shooters. They want serious sports games. And they want on this Nintendo console, and this is me included, that what is offered on the other consoles. Even if it comes at 720p, even if it comes looking a little bit less impressive, the fact that we can pick that up, take it on the go. Imagine a full-fledged Madden game on the go. Now, the consensus here with EA originally was the fact that they were going to wait it out, and this was before the sales exploded, before this conference call. They alluded to the fact that they were going to sell FIFA 18, judge what they were going to do in the future based off of the sales of FIFA 18, and then they would go from there. But it looks like they're changing their tune now, and they're going to be bringing games. Now, what are they going to be bringing? I don't know, you know. I know they have an unannounced IP, but apparently that's been pushed back because of the same meeting. They said that game, which we have no idea what it is, it's a secret, but we know that it's an always online game to compete with the other always online games from all the other companies. like the Division and things like that, Destiny. But we know that got pushed back to the next fiscal year, which means after March of 2018. So we may hear about that at the E3, but we're probably not going to see or get that this year. So we don't need to worry about that. The big one for me is, though, Madden. I think that all the sports games, the basketball game that they make, I wish they'd bring back the NCAA football. But I would love to see the sports games on the system. Career mode on Madden is like my biggest downtime thing. I just love doing it. I love developing characters on there. I love playing multiplayer on that on that game. It's just a good game. It's very good. I love football. So anyway, what do you guys think about this announcement? Do you think this is a signal, perhaps, like I do, that all the third parties are eventually going to jump on board? Do you think that the Nintendo Switch can handle these games? I mean, let's put it this way. Dark Souls 3 is said to be running on it. There are rumors that the new Assassin's Creed is running on this. There are tech demos playing on the Nintendo Switch that are very impressive that the other systems also play. But let's see. I guess we have to wait and see, just like, we have no choice but to do that. But do you guys think that this is the signal, the beginning of the big AAA fall in line? I suppose that's not a very good wording, but you know what I'm saying. They're all going to fall in line. They're all going to want to create for this, and they're all going to port over their stuff. Now, I know I'm a huge Nintendo fan. Most of my news on here is Nintendo based because it's all family friendly, and I love the fact that I can just get on here and if an 8-year-old wants to get on and watch something on the channel, I want to make sure that it's good for him to be able to, or her, to get on here and watch something on the channel. So Nintendo appeals to all audiences. Don't get me wrong, I love the PS4 and I love the Xbox, and I wish success on all of them because I play all of them and I want all of them, right? But Nintendo's first parties and also this new hardware is something that's just out of this world, and I want all the third parties to get on board. So let me know how you feel about this in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. And here we go, EA. Let's all get on the EA train. To all my Stork Force out there. See you next time. Stork Force.